I'm going to take you on a tour of my fish tank from where we started-ish. Actually, I'd already started cleaning it for a couple weeks, but pretty much the beginning and on the journey of having a giant fish tank in your house, because it's unusual to have a fish tank that is over 500 gallons. Most people have saltwater tanks that are 25, 100, maybe even 200 gallons, but 500 is pretty unusual, and it's a lot to maintain, a lot to improve, but I hope it'll be beautiful. I really believe it'll be beautiful. And it is already, but especially once we get some more coral in there and some more happy fish, it's really going to be amazing. So I'm documenting this journey mostly for myself, but I hope that you'll hang out with me and give me comments and follow along and ask questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. By no means am I an expert. In fact, I'm quite the opposite. I'm totally new at this. But yeah, so when I started cleaning the front of the tank, it had a lot of this buildup, a lot of coralline algae. It's this purple algae that grows, and it's actually good. Like, sometimes it's good for the fish. It's good on rocks and everything. I didn't like it on the front of the tank because I couldn't see through it, and I enjoy seeing my fish. Then I got to the end caps. So I started just with the front of the tank for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then I started on the end panels. And so on the right side, it was completely clouded. You could not see, and you still really can't see in very well. With coralline algae, with green algae, it's just so gross isn't the right word, but it's so thick that it's been a challenge to clean. And so you can kind of see the before and after, both on the right side and the left side, of where it is versus where it was when I started.
The biggest issue that I have with the tank is the green stuff that's growing and living on the bottom.
Because it's going to take up nutrients and it's going to grow where other healthy bacteria, healthy algae actually could be. So not great to have in the tank. It's called cyanobacteria. And it consumes phosphate and it grows where other bacteria and algae would normally live. I think I just said that, but just to reinforce that. So one way that it gets to where it is the power heads aren't moving the water around enough. They're not moving around the sand enough. They're not creating enough flow. So by doing that, by adding more power heads and repositioning them, hopefully that'll help with the cyano. Another thing is that it doesn't actually need a nutrient source to survive. So that makes it unique. And it actually consumes nitrogen from the air around the tank, which is kind of super interesting. It also consumes phosphorus. So if my tank is low on phosphorus, it may be because the cyano's been eating it all, but I'll find that out soon. So anyhow, that's one of the things that we're working on in the tank. And truly, despite the cyano, the tank is healthy. I did a water test. I tested the nitrites, the nitrates, the ammonia, the pH. Everything came back perfect. So I'm really excited about that. And really, there's a lot of good happening in the tank. And that's what excites me the most, is that I have a solid starting point. I've done a ton of research to figure out the problem that's cyano. I've talked to some experts just to kind of confirm the suspicions and get a little bit of direction, and here we go. These green star polyps, or LPS, it kind of looks like a mat of sod. They're doing really well. You can see some of the purple. It's purple coralline algae. It's doing really well. Our Florida mushroom coral, aka Recordia, they're all growing and doing so well and multiplying. The tank's a little dirty. I haven't cleaned it yet because we still have so much sand flying around in it from putting in more water still. You can see that if I wash it, if I put a sponge on the inside against the acrylic, it'll actually scratch the tank, like you can see here. So I haven't wanted to clean the tank yet, so there's a few dirty spots. But you can see there's so much good happening in the tank. These mushrooms are just growing and expanding and multiplying. We've got some over here. Our fish are a little camera shy, but they're happy and they're doing well. So we've got the airhead, and we have our airhead here, power head, excuse me, and we have another one back here. That's our new one. And then, of course, we have these two. So a lot of good happening despite having an outbreak of cyanobacteria. So now, to get our tank nice and healthy, we really want to continue those
water changes every other week, so 20% water change. We want to make sure that any cyano that we can reach and scoop out of the sand, we're going to continue doing that. I did check the phosphate. My test finally came in. I think I might have called it a phosphorus test earlier in the video. If not, it was a different video. But let me tell you, it's phosphate, not phosphorus. The LPS is doing well. You can see as I move across the acrylic that there is some buildup on the inside of the tank. It's growth, it's a little bit of algae, and it's fine, it's normal. So see right here, yeah. So now that the sand is settled from our massive water change, or it's not really that massive, it's 20%, so still 100 gallons, which is pretty decent size water change. Now that it's all settled, I'll come in with my magic eraser and I will wipe it out. Alternatively, I have a magnet with a nice little sponge on the inside. I could probably use that too, but I'm really keen on my magic eraser. I just love it. And yeah, I mean, check out that coralline algae. How beautiful is that? And the mushrooms are doing well. I mean, everybody in here is just so happy, except of course for my sand and perhaps this power head. But otherwise, you know, I mean, I'm so excited about this tank. It's really coming back, and it's coming back quickly. So great news about the water. You know, the cyano is just baffling to me, but that's okay. I don't need to understand it. I just want to get it clean. There you go. So enjoy your day. Oh, I didn't tell you the results of the phosphate test. Well, hang out with me for just a few seconds longer, and I'll get right to it. I did get my phosphate test in, yay. So what you do is you get this little beaker and you fill it with your tank water. I just took it straight out of my sump, okay? So I have sump water, I put in bottle 1, 6 drops of this, I shook it up, I put in 6 drops of bottle 2, I shook it up, and I let it sit for 3 minutes. This is so easy. I love these little tests because the instructions are on the card, and if you flip the card over, it tells you your phosphate level. The only thing it doesn't tell you is where your phosphate actually should be for a healthy tank. So my phosphate comes in, I know this isn't really the best way to show you, but it comes in right around 0.25, maybe even 0.5. Ideally you want it under 1. Typically the closer to 0 is better. And it's pretty darn light. It's pretty darn light. So maybe the cyano's been eating it. I have no idea. I could certainly lighten it some, but my tank has really healthy water. And so the cyano outbreak is totally baffling to me, but we're just gonna keep doing these water changes. I spoke with the pet store, the fish store earlier. I called Top Shelf out of Orlando, Florida, and they said that one of the best ways to lower your phosphate level is to do water changes. So we're just going to keep on doing that, and we'll see how it goes. But otherwise, I mean, that's some nice looking water in the nice phosphate test. We're nowhere even near that one. We're really closer to 0.25 or 0.5, so pretty happy with that.